Different Anybody there?
Does anybody care? Happy
Or,
Thursday.
that's the way that should have been my theme song when I first started. Is anybody there? I don't like that song. What? Yeah.
It's still getting me. Okay.
All right, well, anyway.
Well, Sue gave a loose perm to a young man today, and he was so happy, and he told his mom she knows what to do, and I said, what is she supposed to do? And she says, pay for it.
And she'll be paying for that for a long time. How are we doing tonight?
Good.
Is anybody there?
Michael says, we're here, we care.
Thank you. That's good. That's good to know.
Dominic Ferranti said, hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So we're trying, we did this last Thursday, with everybody working again, and thank God everybody's working again. That's a great thing. It doesn't mean that we're out of the woods, but it does mean
because
that
we know two people that are in the woods today.
Well, yeah, but we're not going to do. What are we? The death page. We're not that.
No, I didn't say
we're
they
not,
were
wrong.
on their deathbed.
No.
We just know two people that are in the woods today.
Yeah, we do. But but people are starting to play out. So what we decided to do on Thursdays, which is today.
Our Throwback Thursday.
Yeah, Throwback Thursday. Go back and look at the older interviews. They're not interviews; they're conversations. But it's kind of cool to have all these conversations saved, because it's what it really is. I mean, if any of you, and T, I know you've been there. If you've hung out with me at any point, it really turns into this after enough time.
5 minutes.
And it's, well, wait a minute.
Every time.
Some things never change. But that's okay, because we like that, right? don't we?
I think that's
think
why
we do.
John liked it so much, because he wasn't always the one closing the bars down.
What does that mean?
You were in there, right?
Right.
Laughing along.
I was there for elbows time.
TV says, "Yep,
Yep.
yep." He knows.
Yeah, you know.
You know.
Well, so you know, like I said, everybody's working, and that's a very good thing. We're happy everybody's working, or that a lot of people are working. And so rather than try to jam people in, or you also have to realize a lot of people are getting called last minute for gigs, either as subs or whatever. And so, you know, our policy is if you can work and get paid for it, you have no business being here.
You know who never stopped working?
Who never stops working?
Ivan Bodley.
And
he's doing 3 gigs a day sometimes.
He's a monster.
He's unbelievable.
Yeah. But, you know, but listen, when you do, you know, when that's what you are, that's...
He would be a good throwback for next week.
He would be a great... yes, maybe, yeah. Well, anyway, so the idea of these things, I mean, and Ivan, man, I mean, mucho respecto there. That guy has... he's got it going on, I'll tell you that.
He does.
And it's not like he has everything together, you know, and then he shows up and is a mediocre player. The guy's a monster.
Yep, he gets called to sub, and then,
yeah. So anyway, with what's going on, we decided that we would visit old shows or shows from the beginning, you know, of time. I've got Buck Darmazel show, and I've got Ivan's show, and a ton of people. And I was looking at them today, and I thought, well, that might actually be fun to do that. So I'm still getting my editing chops as far as that's concerned. I mean, I put in little clips here and there, and it'll get better as the weeks go on. But for the summer, this is what it's going to be on Thursday nights, which tells you when Dr. Clockus comes in on Mondays to tell you who's going to be here, he'll also be telling you who the throwback is.
That's right. Good old Dr. Clockus. Ooh, and tomorrow, Free for All Friday the 13th.
Free for All Friday the 13th.
We like Friday the 13th.
I love Friday the 13th. We love 13 in general. That was a always been a very lucky number, and I can, especially in the music scene, it's amazing how many times 13 would come up in some of the things I was involved in.
Miss Sue says it's a good idea to have Angus announce it.
Well, yeah. Because that way you kind of get to know. And it's cool people. It's not like it's, well, who? You know, it's all fun. So, you know, I'll look forward to your feedback. And if there's anybody whose show you missed or you want to see or whatever, I mean, they're all up on the fan page on Facebook. And quite a few of them are up on YouTube. But maybe what I'll do, if you think this is a good idea, maybe what I'll do is I'll repost the entire episode.
Oh.
To
night of.
Right, to correspond with
after the show.
See, and I could actually even pull that off because I know where all that stuff is.
That's a good idea.
So, if you'd like to see the entire episode.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah,
Why
that's
not?
what they're doing these days. If you'd like to see,
Yeah, that's what they're doing these days, all right.
They are.
They are, I know, they are. Yeah, that's
Like
what they're doing.
on NBC, on the Today Show, if you'd like to see the entire segment, go over to our...
Podcast.
No.
No. I don't know. Go somewhere.
Yeah, go
over there. Because that's where it is, right over there. Just go check it out. All right, so remember, you know, this could be a little weird. Hopefully not, but it could be a little weird. So I'm going to play the first segment. There's
What's
only
gonna
like...
be weird?
This is how this works, because I've never done it this way before.
You know what?
Oh, I know. It's a piece of cake.
It is
No, it might
not
be weird for
weird.
them.
It's
It's fine
not
for
weird.
me. I made it do it. So I'm good with it.
Ooh, I hear thunder. Think of John Entwistle. That's
Yeah,
right, John.
speaking of John Entwistle, man, I was talking to the label today, and well, not the whole label. Hey, how you doing? And we're gonna have music on there from all of the tours, live music from all the tours, And did I mention Stone Pony that we did a show? It was one of the last shows we did in 2001 at the Stone Pony. And there's definitely going to be some stuff from there, from that show, on Volume 1 and probably Volume 2. The whole that whole show was pretty cool. Mm-hmm. So, on that happy note, let's see
well,
what
I'm really surprised to hear this.
What?
Tim McCullen says he always thinks of John Entwistle.
I'm not surprised to hear that at all.
I'm not either.
Did you see the buzzard tattoo that he got on the side of his neck? No?
Got a buzzard on one side and a spider on the other. Oh.
Well, as long as it's not the target, you know?
Oh.
You don't want to have the target. Don't get the target.
No, don't do the target.
No.
Or
okay.
you might be a target.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, anyway, so we're going to try this. And here we go. Liberty Devito. And I got to tell you something about Liberty. You know,
some people might not know.
Well, he was the drummer for most of the biggest Billy Joel hits. I mean,
That's
it
right.
was those guys, him, Canada, Richie Canada,
and now they have a band called Lords of 52nd Street.
Right, and I mean it's amazing, and a lot of those, you know. Well, anyway, Liberty's, you know, I've always known him by reputation. We didn't really know each other except through the drum center or through this, or again by reputation. Mm-hmm. So this is us hanging out for the very first time, really, in a casual setting ever anywhere.
Yeah.
And when I was editing this today, I was looking at it and I was thinking, man, what a different way drummers talk to each other than musicians talk to each other. It's just a whole... There's like an understanding. There's like 2 paragraphs of explanation that you don't even have to go into with another drummer because they get it. So anyway.
Well, Dominic Peranti says he loves Liberty's book. So yes, you.
Oh, you got the book. Oh, excellent. Yes, yes.
His daughter's like a famous actress.
Yeah, she's on. What is it? Chicago Fire. Don't
Yes.
make me mess it up.
Yeah, one of those fires. I think it's Chicago Fire.
She's and and she's got a prominent role. It's great. I mean, that's obviously an entertainment family.
Yeah.
But he's great. I'm glad to call him a friend, and you know, it's
catch the whole episode after the show, and he'll.
I'll post it and post a link to the, you know, just to get jumping to the either the group or I don't know, you know me.
Wow, Kitty says that she thinks of John every day too. Oh, wow.
Well, I guess I do too, for that matter, seeing as I'm working on his last solo record. I'll tell you what, it's an interesting project, this.
Well, John would love that all these people think of him every day.
That's the idea, you know. That was the point.
He always said, "You're not really famous.
You're not really famous until you're dead.
Until you're dead."
And well, you're famous now, but infamous always.
Yes.
So anyway, all right. So let's try out just a couple seconds of me and Liberty. And
Roger Chaffee said, "Roger, Chicago Med, and no longer on it."
Oh
okay.
no!
Well,
she got her own show. Then that's what that means. Chicago
yes, Dominic
Med
says it was Chicago Med. Okay, so they know Chicago.
Okay, that's great.
All right, Chicago Med.
Angus
Liberty's
and
daughter.
Franny watch that show. They watch the whole thing.
Well, we tried watching it, and it
Why
was
did
very
you? Why-
bloody.
why-
It was very bloody.
Yes, it is pretty graphic, and you know, before we do our television like you, either a little bit in the afternoon on a break from whatever I'm doing, or you know, that's how we end the evening. And the last kind of thing that I want to see is pancreas. You know,
Well, because
I want to see.
no, the opening song tonight.
Oh.
Is anybody there?
My hospital song.
Does anybody care? They don't know that.
They don't know that.
No, you said you would tell them what it was about.
Do they still want to know?
Do you care?
Well, okay.
Does anybody care? We don't.
See
now
now
that means you're a skunkhead motherfucker because it's someone possessing a
Skunk
level
hard.
of giving 0 fucks.
skunk hard.
Skunk
hard.
Skunk hard, motherfucker. Skunk Kid.
Yeah, no, that's
Skunk Kid would be Todd.
the song is about a $35,000 gas payment, and I'll tell you the rest of it later. Let's check out Liberty. Come in.
Hello, Steve.
Hey, man, how are you?
I'm good. And yourself?
I'm real good, thanks. I am loving the hat.
Oh, thanks. Yeah.
New York all the way, man. Now, I'm jumping right in. First of all, I've been looking forward to talking to you. We have never really had the chance to do the good drum hang.
Yeah.
And it's been a while, man. It's been a minute. How are you? Let me start. I'll be courteous.
As far as you want to know how I am, if there wasn't a pandemic or if it was, that there is one.
Well, we can go through both, but in this current moment, how are you as we...
In this current moment, I'm actually, today was a very special day, because of what went on, yes. And I'm happy for that. The pandemic, as far as drumming goes, I can't wait to get out and beat the drums to death. I mean, it's been too long. Been too long. Back
Have you
in
not played at all? Have you not played at all?
well, I did some session work. You wear a mask and you play, or you sometimes you're in a drum booth. I just did a thing with Steve Gaspar.
Yes.
Steve.
He said to say hello.
Yeah, and I was in a booth at the Carriage House. They had this special room for
I know the
drums.
Carriage House. I've been there many times.
Yeah, so it was
Carriage House?
huh?
Is it Connecticut? The Carriage?
Yes, yeah,
Yeah,
yep.
been there many times.
And yeah, it was great to be in the booth. I could take the mask off and play. Everybody else is in the other room or whatever. When you go in and listen, you put the mask back on. In the beginning of the pandemic, I did a couple of live shows, but they were those parking lot shows before it got really cold.
Yeah.
They were weird because people beep their horns instead of clapping.
Oh, you remember when it went from lighters to cell phones? I guess
Yeah,
now we're
yeah.
beating our horns and flashing our headlights.
But I'm due for the vaccine, but it's just in New York. Everything's like really slow.
Yeah, yeah. So you're gonna. So that's good. I mean, that's all good stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
Listen. I think we don't. I don't go off topic on here, which is joy and wonderfulness. But I can't help but hope that we're moving everything in a good direction, in a more positive direction, building on everything that we've done, and looking forward to a bright, happy, healthy future for everybody. Wow, now how frickin' optimistic is that?
Yeah.
Uh-oh, nope, did wrong. Now you see, there it goes. You see how it happens? It was close. I was good. But it got a little loose.
Well,
So yeah, that was, and I'll tell you, I remember from that day, and I don't know if I used this clip or not, but I remember the conversation, obviously, and I grew up in an apartment, and any of you that have ever lived in an apartment, you know that the world is right outside your front door. They could be leaning on it
It
or sleeping
sucks.
up against it. Hey,
hey.
besides that, Mrs. Lincoln. So I understand that whole open the door and you're in the hallway of the world and you're in whoever's in the elevator and you're subject to the randomness of people. But over the years, I don't think we've lived, well, we started out in an apartment 40
Right.
years ago and that was it, right?
Yeah.
So I kind of forgot that. And during pandemic time for the past couple of years, look, we are very lucky and very fortunate and very blessed to have the area that we have to, we can go out with the dog, not have to worry about masks, and it's, we're in like a very private place. But I didn't even think about it. Liberty said when the whole thing first started, he would go out to catch the elevator and realize he forgot his mask. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
so.
Well, Tim says he still wears his mask, that this shit isn't going away, with all my vaccinations available for me 3. We've had 4.
Don't forget my best Florida bud is the head of the ER here. He's
Yeah.
the chief of staff.
And?
I know the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So I
wear
mean,
my mask
if
too,
it was
Kim.
gone, Larry'd be calling me up and saying, "Man, it's gone,"
That's right.
and I would be telling you.
Yeah.
And I promise, as soon as it's gone, and he tells me, I'll tell you. That okay?
Oh, well,
What?
Kitty.
Uh-oh, kitty.
Oh, she's like purring up to us now. I
Oh.
think everyone is with me on this. I think of Steve and Laurie and Remy as well every day. That's just too sweet.
Wow. Where do we send your stars? No, that
Oh, that's
you know
very sweet.
it is
Kitty.
very sweet, and thank you for that, because the truth is, I think of you guys too. Prepping for the show and doing the whole thing, and the show is on my mind. Obviously with a lot of other things, I'm doing two records at the same time, and I'm doing the documentary thing, which I'm believing is going to start to play dates next month. Vernon Kelton Band. Just saying. Keep an eye out. I'll keep an eye out for you. So yeah. So should we try a little bit more Liberty? See how this goes?
Sure.
Screwed up the first segment, but
Yeah.
that's okay.
Well,
What?
we're going to play the show in its entirety after our show.
We're gonna play it in its entirety after our show?
Didn't you say you were going to play Liberty?
No, I said I was gonna post it.
He's
so
going to post it. That's what I meant.
You should see. She looks at me. She goes, "Didn't you say this?" And then she looks at you guys, although you're not really there, and says, "Oh, he's going to post it." It's
Kitty says
pretty
we're
high
like-
level shit in here,
Kitty says we're like family.
man. Yeah, we are. Yes, better than family though. In some ways, in all the best ways, to be better than family. I'm not getting in any trouble. Liberty, help, man. All right, let me get back to the. See there. Gotta get back
Laurie
to the.
said so true.
Oh, where is the cool little fade out thing? There it is.
Okay, here's Liberty.
Okay, here we go. What is that purple smoke? It's Lenny. It's good to see you, man. It's good to see you.
During a pandemic, it's really good to be seen. I mean, in here, I live in Brooklyn here, and I can't go outside, and take a mask off and walk around because there's people everywhere. I got a lot of friends that live like out on Long Island or upstate, and they have a house that has property, and they go outside without the mask, and it's great. We go out. As soon as I leave my apartment, I got to get on an elevator to go downstairs. I got the mask on.
Look, this man. I mean, it gets more real for me seeing it or more hearing about it because I'm not traveling. I wouldn't have been traveling this year anyway because I had a bunch of other stuff. Just the stuff.
Right.
But I'm not. I don't really feel it like everybody does because I am able to go outside and sit, and I don't have to wear a mask. I never even thought because I grew up in an apartment, so but I've been in houses, how that. But I just all of a sudden I just got such a clear vision of the elevator and the. Didn't I just say this? Stairs and the hallway and the mailboxes. Wow.
Yeah, it's insane. Sometimes I forget to wear the mask, and I got to go back upstairs and you hope nobody comes on the elevator. And yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. But the Lords had to cancel a lot of gigs. A lot of them were blown off, and our manager kept writing and going, "Okay, we got to postpone now. September, October, December," and now he's like, "Now we got to postpone February, March. Maybe we might start playing again in April. Who knows?"
What do you? Oh, and so who's in that band now? That band is currently playing. I thought it was the Slim Kings. No.
No, the Slim Kings play too, but we've been doing things like virtual things from the studio. We played Daryl's house
Right.
and did a podcast from there. It's just cool, the Slim Kings are more of a recording band. It's really funny. A lot of bands are starting to play again, and only like maybe 12 people are showing up. It's kind of a Slim Kings audience.
Isn't that the way it all started out? I mean, we call it nostalgia. It's a
Well,
nostalgia movement.
that's exactly what it's like. It is like starting out again. And you know what's great about playing when we were playing back in the summertime with the Lords? You have no response with the crowd because they're in their cars listening to it on the radio, right? So the thing that you have to do is remember what it was like when you first started and nobody wanted to hear your band. Nobody. Who would you play to? You play. I would play to the bass player. I played to the singer or the guitar player, and you have to do that again just to get off. You know.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
It's not weird, but I mean, I get it. It's just so foreign because I remember those days, and for me, I probably just closed my eyes and I was playing for Madison Square Garden back then when there were 8 people.
Yeah.
But, it's a weird turn, man.
I tend to think of it as we're playing music live with a rubber on. You know. Yeah.
Yeah, 2 rubbers and a ring. Well, I might have gotten it right this time. Did I? I don't know. Why, yes, I think I did. Oh, my force field. What?
Called me a little late.
I didn't realize it was. What do you think? I time these things out? I got a guy over there with a clapboard?
All right, Liberty.
That wasn't Liberty. That was, no. So, how's it working out so far? Okay, right? It's okay. I mean, I stopped it on time, so now when I switch back, because, there's a lot of ways of setting this stuff up. It's not just like you call up your production department and say, hey, we're going to do Throwback Thursday, so edit me up some stuff. Hey, and they say, listen, Katie Couric, go fuck yourself, So, you got to do it yourself. And, but it's fun. It's fun. The hard part is, and I'll figure it out in time, but the hard part is figuring out where to cut the conversation, and how long to make it be, and how much time there is to, in any given conversation. And it's almost like I have to watch the whole show over again, which is not such a terrible thing, but what I am going to do at some point is I have to cut a blooper reel. I mean, there's if I take the funniest 40 things that ever happened on the show, we've got ourselves an HBO special. Yeah. Oh, okay. Anyway, so it's.
I like watching them back. I get sucked in listening.
You do?
Yeah, because you forget. It's been so long ago.
Yeah. Well, that was when was Liberty's? Let's. Where's your magic book?
He was in the other book.
He was in the other book. Okay. He was in year 1, though, right?
I do believe.
And I want children. I want you to know that the plaque is hanging very proudly in my control room.
That's right.
And so, see, I see you guys and think of you as well.
Yeah, when he's in there working on the John stuff.
And I go from one studio to the other studio, from one studio to the other studio. Oh, I know, poor me. What's this? The smallest violin, and it's playing just for me. But it's, I'll tell you, the worst part of it is the screens. I love the work. I mean, I love what I do, but the screens just seem to wear me out. And I have massive screens in the studio that will slide out of the way, and then you can look through the window into the live room if you're cutting that way. But even with those, it's bizarre. I mean, there's like 2 40-inch monitors in there or whatever, and it's really great because these programs, the writing is so small. But anyway, so it's raining.
Yes, it is.
Dog's under the bed.
Yes, he is.
And I think it's time to tip our hat to Brad and Colby.
I agree.
Okay. So here we go. A little commercial.
Oh, wait. I found
What?
when Liberty was.
Oh,
He was on January 20th of 2021.
January 20th of 2021.
Right.
Well, that's a year and a half ago, easy.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. And we were still doing it. We weren't in space yet.
No. Okay, anyway,
All right.
let's hear from Brad and Colby.
Yes, Brad and Colby. Here we go. Thank you very much.
Most of you know I live in Southwest Florida now, and one of my favorite places to grab a bite to eat is Jason's Deli. Scott and Diana Willis have been in business here for over 20 years. The truth is, Jason's Deli has bigger choices of better food. You can eat healthy and enjoy the taste of quality ingredients. They're open 7 days a week for dine-in, pick-up, or deli delivery. With 4 convenient locations from Naples to Cape Coral, Florida, they are a must-try. Jason's Deli, where all good things come from wholesome ingredients. And Bradley's Jewelers in South Fort Myers. Diamonds, bridal, you name it, estate, custom design, and expert repair. Bradley's Jewelers, South Fort Myers. They specialize in amazing moments.
Oh, yes. Great when you do your own voiceovers, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're thinking about taking this on the road, getting a van. Oh God, we thought about that. We've been thinking about down the road. No one knows what's going on in the world. I wonder how many of you guys have considered RVing. All right, sell your house. No more anything. Get in the frickin' thing and
We
drive.
asked them this last week.
What?
We asked them this last week, and most of them said no.
No? No, just wait. Give it a little time. The only thing the thing about it that I'm not sure is, would I want one that was easier to drive, or would I want one that was easier to live in? Which
Drive.
is two completely different things.
Easier to drive.
Yeah, I guess.
Yep,
Well, yeah, because if you have to drive it.
that's right.
You used to take shifts driving.
Yes, absolutely.
It's been, yeah. Okay, well, there you go. Put the dog in the car and
I used
see
to
it.
drive a Suburban in my teens. That was big.
Big.
It was big.
You, didn't you drive a U-Haul?
No, I pulled a U-Haul
Pulled a U-Haul.
behind a Vegas station wagon.
There's a sight that I want to see in my mind. You pulling a U-Haul
Little tiny U-Haul.
with a Vegas station wagon.
From
I don't even know if I've ever
New
seen
Orleans
a Vegas.
to Dallas.
That's a smart decision. Who sanctioned that? Whose station wagon was it?
It was given to me by my parents.
Given
It was
to you by your
It
parents.
was theirs, and they got the Suburban.
They got one that wasn't going to kill them.
Yeah, and they gave me the Vegas.
Here you
wagon.
go, Laurie. Hey. Oh, you want to drive to Dallas? Go ahead.
Now, Gail says not her. She's got too many animals. She could not do it.
Well, yeah, I get that too. I'm just saying, you know what? The world is nuts. We're just discussing alternative possibilities of things that could maybe, who knows what's going to happen. I mean, I wasn't expecting this. I got off the stage in 2019 and said, wow, I can't wait to do this again. 2022. What? So,
Well, and it is getting hotter down here.
Yeah.
Brenda had a Vegas station wagon as her first car. LOL. That's
Really?
funny. Yeah.
That's funny.
What? Mine was maroon. What color was yours, Brenda? Yeah, I drove my friend. She was going to college in Dallas, and her grandmother's friend gave her some furniture, and she said, "Will you drive it with me to Dallas?"
Ugly Green.
Oh.
Is that the formal name, or is that the nickname? Okay, well we have it in moron maroon or ugly green.
I didn't say it was moron maroon.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't buy it, did you? It was given to you, wasn't it?
Yes. Call my parents morons?
Well, I can't get out of this.
No, you can't.
Liberty! No. Okay. All right. So, okay. So what else? Back to the garden.
Back to the garden.
She said to me, "How long are the clips?" I said, "Well, I don't know. I didn't really time them out. You know, this is the first time I did it like this. Why?" She said, "Because I have to make the chicken."
I gotta put the chicken in the oven.
So, but she doesn't want you to think that she's not
She
here.
said it was a lime color. It was awful. Push
Lime
button
color.
automatic. Push button automatic.
Oh, push button. You know, Jan Michaud's older brother John had a push button automatic Plymouth something or Dodge something.
What's push button automatic?
It was push buttons. So you change gears,
Oh,
not
wow.
gears, but yeah, put it in park and you push it. It not unlike ours.
Huh.
Think about. I mean,
Mine was just automatic.
what?
My Vega station wagon.
You still have to switch gears though. You have to put it in reverse and park
yeah.
and neutral.
Oh,
so.
and she had a button to push.
Right. Well, how do you do it on ours? How do you switch gears on ours? On the four-door.
I'm trying to think.
But that's the little handle thing.
Right.
Well, it's kind of like push button, isn't it? It's not a stick shift.
Yeah, no, it's an automatic. Right?
I can hear all the boys going, oh.
Oh, Kitty's got a Mustang and it eats gas. What color's your Mustang, Kitty?
Yeah, what color?
Kitty.
That's
Kitty.
easy for you to say.
Kitty.
What color? Yeah, what?
Oh, and Sue had a Renault.
I had a Mustang that ate gas.
And you
Like
had a...
3 miles to the gallon, thank you very much. And I had what?
You didn't have a Renault.
No, I didn't have a Renault. Mm-mm. I know Renault, believe me.
Okay, Tim's first was an 87 Buick Regal.
Very nice Buick Regal. We had a Regal. Or did we? No, we had a... I don't remember what our
Skylark.
Buick was. No, Skylark. Century or something we had.
I don't know.
I don't remember either. I remember we blew it up on the
Yeah,
West
on the
Side
way to the
Highway
city.
on the way to the China Club.
No,
Boom!
not China Club. No, that was that weird club we met Heist at.
What club was that?
I don't know. He was either playing there.
And we went after we blew the car up?
Yeah, we did. We went.
All right, anyway.
Does
So-
that surprise you?
Well, only because it was Heist.
Oh, she said Renault is a French car. We know.
Oh, yeah, we do.
We do.
Who was it? Gunther, who used to run Renault at on the track? They're
No.
very competitive this year, although they're not Renault anymore. They're, what are they now?
AlphaTauri. No.
No, that's Red Bull too. Anyway.
Alpine.
Alpine.
Right, and it's not Gunther.
Well then, the hell with it.
Gunther is Haas.
Right. Gene, oh yeah, Gene, yeah.
Oh, okay. Laurie Richardson had a 73 Toyota Celica. That was her first.
Wow. That's throwing it back. 73. My first car didn't actually run. It was I don't even know what year it was. It was a Hillman Minx. It was my brother's car, and I guess he blew it up and said I could have it because he knew I wasn't old enough to drive.
I've never even heard of that kind of car.
Yeah, I showed you one the other night in the English movie.
Ah.
Tiny little weird little car. But my actual real first car was an Austin, not an Aston, an Austin America. Front wheel drive, little boxy thing, pukey green color.
Oh.
Kind of,
Well,
I bet it was the same
color as Brenda's?
Yeah. Just a horrible, like an olivey color, and that was my first car.
Okay, and Sue's last 60 car died 18 years ago. It was a 62 Buick Skylark.
Wow. Okay.
Cool. Skylarks
Yeah.
were cool.
We drive them till the wheels fall off.
Yep.
Unless it's the sports cars. Those have to go before they become a pain in the ass. But anyway, Liberty.
Back to Liberty.
That was a smooth transition, right?
Always do
Nice.
it. You know, I remember being when the synthesizer came out and the string sections they were losing money. When the drum machine, I remember having a meeting with the guys that own the Long Island Drum Center.
Dennis and Jerry Ricky.
Yes, Dennis and Jerry, and they were saying like, look, we got to do something. They're going to start to put these in the board in the studio. They're going to be a drum machine in there. It's like, what's going to happen? Thank goodness it didn't have a feel like a real drummer, you know. But
Yeah.
you hear that in hip hop now, a lot of the guys are playing like drum machines.
Yeah. It's amazing how it all comes around. But I have a great drum machine story for you, and that is I heard that Roger Lynn was the guy who actually
Right.
invented the thing, right?
Yeah.
And he goes, so I guess I'm going to paraphrase, goes to Radio Shack and he hooks up a blue button and a red button in one of those boxes that you can buy with an input and an output, and he makes himself the little machine.
Right.
And he brings it, I forget where it was, record plant, and Stevie Wonder's in there. And they said, hey, Stevie, you got to check this out. And they put it in Stevie's hand. Now, it's a great story, whether it's true or not. I wasn't there, but I was told by somebody who was. They put it in Stevie's hand, and he said, what's this? And they said, just it's two buttons. He presses the left button, and he hears the kick drum. Presses the blue button, and he hears the snare drum. And he goes, uh-oh. So,
Yeah.
so I mean, it's drum machines. They tried to threaten me, but they never did.
No, we used to. I remember the first time we recorded with Phil Ramone at A&R Studios. Um, Phil would use the click. You know, the click was in the board,
Sure.
and Phil would use the click only because when we found the right tempo to do a song, he would start the click there. He set the click. We would speed up during the song, and he would pull the click out of our headphones. If that wasn't the take, now us drummers, we have a habit of the next take we would start at the tempo we ended the last take at.
Because that's where your heart is. That's where
Right.
your blood is.
But Phil would hit the click again, so we would go back to the original tempo. That's a really good feel. But as the song went on again, he would just pull it out if we started to go too fast. But it was a great take. You know, he didn't care if we went off. You know, he loved it.
Yeah, well, the only reason these days to use or to cut to a click and stick to it is for all the cutting and pasting that everybody
Right.
does, where it all. And believe me, I found that very useful in constructing things. It's never going to replace. It's like a drum machine. It's never going to replace you and me. First of all, how many girls have you ever seen walking out of a club with a drum machine under their arm?
That's great.
So there's that.
That's great.
Uh, and and what I rest my case.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but it was, we were in there, and Phil said, "I'm going to start a click," and I got really scared, And Steve Kahn, the guitarist that was on the sessions with us for the Stranger album, he said to me, he goes, "The click is your friend. Don't worry about it."
Well, I get that because I
Yeah.
tend to ebb and flow as
Right.
especially when you're playing progressive music or whatever. And I mean, the music, Billy Joel's music is so dramatic and it's so it's like movements to it. So how can you
Right.
lock in a tempo?
Right.
It just wouldn't work.
Yeah.
But I understand the starting point.
Right. I mean, I'm reading these George Martin books now, about the Beatles, early and later on. When they were doing Sergeant Pepper, I was shocked. My wife always says, "What could you possibly learn by reading another Beatle book that you don't already know about the Beatles?" Well, I didn't know that for Day in the Life, Ringo overdubbed the drums. He didn't play to the track. I mean, he didn't play along with the basic track.
Back to the basics.
He overdubbed the basic. And George Martin states in the book, he goes, that showed how good Ringo is because he kept with the ups and downs of how John played. He just went along with it, and the evidence is in the mix, man. You know.
Well, the fact I think, I think what the Beatles, what they did, and you and I use this reference with my guests all the time. There are people that remember life before the Beatles, which is like black and white TV,
Right.
and then we have IMAX.
Yeah.
But they were absolutely permission to. I came up like I'm maybe a year or two younger than you are. So I came up with when music was blossoming all over the place, but all the doo-wop stuff and all the 50s stuff had gotten as big as it could get. You couldn't repackage it anymore. It was all, and when the Beatles happened, it was like, oh man, put on these glasses and check this out. Put on these glasses and check this out. I wonder what he means by that. Hey, honey, I wonder what he means by that. You husking that corn? Oh, shit. It's very funny. It made me think of when he said, his wife said, how much, about the Beatles books, talking about Liberty, what he said about what could you possibly learn by buying another Beatle book. I had a friend that played, was a pretty serious golfer, and every year he told his wife, I got to get the new driver. It's going to add 10 yards, 20 yards to my drive. And so she said, yeah, it's been going on for a while now. How long are you hitting about 1,000 yards now? 2,000 yards? But did you see that Beatles thing? The Get Back? Man, that was a different look. I wish, maybe I'll have to have Liberty back on. Because I loved the Beatles music, but I was not consumed by it. I mean, I took everything out of it that I could get, and God bless Ringo, I wanted to be, I wanted to get paid by the note. You know how it goes with me. And so I was always looking for music that pushed my my drumming abilities, and then of course I wanted to write music that did the same thing. But Ringo did play a very important part in what?
Sue's gonna watch it during her vacation. Huh. Yeah, it'll be like reading a very long, boring.
Oh, right. Well, book. I forgot about that. Yeah, I tell you what, it's very strange because I felt like I was back in the Hamptons rehearsing with Rat Race. Not anything other than it's not tedium, but rehearsals are like, I don't know. Some guys love to rehearse. Some guys
writing too. So
yeah. Well, we were writing too. It's where most of those songs came from.
Right.
Night Road and Night Road. We wrote out in the house, and I think G came from out there, and Flame we wrote in the cabin.
I mean, during the Beatles thing, I think we heard the line, "Two of us wearing raincoats, going nowhere," about 50 times.
Well, you know what? It's what they actually did with that thing. I'll get back to Libby in a second. But what they actually did with that thing is they made what we do, whether it's the smallest band in the world or the biggest band in the world, it's all really the same process. And they made it kind of accessible to people that don't live that life. And so you really got to see how much fun it is and how much fun it isn't. And the best part of waking up is Folgers in your cup. The best part of it is you really get to live life on your own terms. Now, there's a lot of people that say, oh, yeah. Well, like I said, I used to work a 40-hour week. Gave me a lot of time, as long as I'm earning and paying the bills and doing whatever, and do whatever I want with the other, 22 hours of the day. And many times did. But let's go back to Libby. He's got.
Wait. We have some more information about the cars, not the band.
Okay.
The Children of the Lawn's cars.
Hmm?
Okay, so Kitty, her Mustang, she is the first owner. The Mustang plant is close to her because she lives in Michigan. She got it with only 5 miles. It now has 98,000 miles. It is a 2009 45th anniversary premium package. I have 19-inch wheels, alloy rims, Shaker 500 audio system, 6 CD, MP3, accent lighting.
Wow.
Well, a lot of bells and whistles, and
I like that.
it.
Well, okay.
And Michael Newton, his first car was a 77 Toyota Corolla, and there was a hole in the floor.
Well, if you don't have a car with a hole in the floor, you haven't lived. But hang on there.
Ambient lighting, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Boy, what did you say?
I said accent because she wrote ancient. But
Ancient.
she
Oh,
meant
okay.
ambient.
Okay. Well, here you go. If it wasn't for the Mustang that I had, your Mustang wouldn't exist.
Ooh.
Because that, I was not the first owner, but that is the 1964 and a half Mustang that was in front of the Ford Pavilion at the World's Fair. The actual car.
The actual car.
I was 12. This is a really weird story, too, because I wrote a poem about this.
He threw it into him.
I'm telling you, I said, Mom, I'm going to have that car. I'm going to have that. I mean, I remember just, doing my Steven thing to her all frickin' day. Gotta have that car. She's saying, you're not going to be old enough to drive that car for 4 years. I said, we could keep it in the garage. I'll do things to it. And so, needless to say, I didn't get the car. And then in 1969, after I blew up the Austin America, it was time to get a car. There was a guy in town that we went to high school with that was selling the exact same car as the one that was out in front. A 2+2, the Cobra Jet Pack, the what do you call it? The spokey kind of wheels, and yeah, it was a fastback. It was a 2+2, and it was the first car in the United States with a factory installed tape deck, 8-track.
Well.
So then I bought the car. I think I don't even remember, paid a ridiculously low amount of money for it. And the guy says to me, you just bought the Mustang from the World's Fair. And I'm like, what? And he said, yeah, man, I got that from Sal, who got it from this guy, who bought it from the World's Fair. So I was like the 4th owner, and they just tortured this car. They did all kinds of stuff to the motor. It's Cobra. Well, anyway, it doesn't matter. It was a great car, and it was the premier Mustang. And to own it, to want it back in '64 and own it in '69, what a weird. Mm-hmm.
And Kitty says, "Oh, she knows hers was the retro style."
Yeah, but I mean, this was. We had never seen
Her
anything like
first
this.
car was a Pinto. It was a hatchback, vinyl roof, brown with gold speckles.
Wow. Yeah, Larry had a Pinto, white one. Sister gave it to him, 71 Pinto. All right, anyway, let's get back to the Libster.
Okay.
Okay. Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Attitude. One band that I loved, as a matter of fact, Dino Danelli from the Rascals. He for me, he blew Ringo off the stool. He was the guy.
Let me just stop you there. I'm going to move out of the way. Do you see those symbols
do.
up flat? Do you
Yeah.
see it, right?
Yes, I do.
I don't need to say anything else, right?
Yeah,
Seems
that's
I'm okay.
Dino.
Okay.
I have the same thing too. Dino. I interviewed him for Modern Drummer video,
Wow.
and I asked him about those. He had white felt.
The things are underneath his wing nuts.
Yeah, I said, well, how did you get them?
Were they like pom-poms off of mallets?
No, well, what he did was he took the bass drum beater and cut it in half and used them. Yeah, yeah. So that was one band when they got together again, and Steve Van Zandt put that whole thing together with the
Yeah,
Rascals.
yeah.
People said, "Are you going to go see the Rascals?" I said, "No, I don't want to," because I had seen them multiple times in the '60s, and they were the band for me. They were it. And I had played with Phyllis Cavalieri a bunch of times and stuff like that. I said, "No, I don't want to see the Rascals." Well, finally somebody said, "I got tickets. You can have this one here. Take it. Let's go." So I went, and let me tell you something. I was blown away. They did every song, and they did it perfectly. When Eddie sang "How Could I Be Sure," I was tearing up. You know, it was amazing.
It was so awesome. I mean, I saw them at the Westchester County Center in White Plains. I must have been 11 or 12.
Yeah.
And I had never, I mean, it just, for me, to have an album with songs on it that were mine, not my brother, who was 8 years older than me, not my
Right.
mother, who was listening to Glenn Miller, which I'm glad I listened to that.
Yeah.
But this was like my stuff. And you're right, the soul of How Can I Be Sure? You Better Run. I'll tell you a funny story. I got a funny story. I think, and I can't remember the band, but it was one of the Long Island bands that does all the cover stuff. It was
Right.
either Wondrous Stories or one of those bands that's out there. And Gene Cornish is sitting in with them, right? And they do You Better Run. And some guy comes up to him at the bar and says, "Man, that was really good. Do you do any other Pat Benatar songs?"
It's great. That's really funny.
Yeah, you can't make this stuff up.
Yeah.
And it's funny, I get talking about the Rascals. I mean, I was obsessed with the Rascals. I wanted oh God, I don't know. I got the drum set that was the same color as Dino's. We've been through this. But the thing that he said, and I didn't know that, and I have to ask Gene about that. The thing that he said, I remember Dino. They're called mufflers, right? And they're felt. They're about this big, and maybe they're a little bigger than the size of a quarter. And they have a hole in the middle, and you put it on the over the sleeve and tighten the wing nut down, and it kind of cushions the cymbal. But Dino had these they were bigger than anybody's ever. I've never seen anything like it. And I said, "What the hell is
Yeah,
that?"
you need to ask Gene. He
What?
remembers everything.
Yo, I'll ask Gene. And yeah, and so Liberty told me he cut those things, and I remembered him the minute he said that. I was like, "Wow, yeah," because I had no idea what those were, and they didn't sell them at Sam Ash. So, and all these years later,
Oh, okay. Gail's first car, she always had Chevys. First car was a used 1964 Malibu Super Sport.
ooh, Super Sport, very nice.
Nice.
A Super Sport,
Much better than a Vegas station wagon.
or an Austin, America. But So I hope you're liking this. I mean, this is pretty much fun, and I enjoy it. It sparks interesting conversation. It makes me want to reach out to Liberty again and put a drummers thing together with him and
Did
Rod.
he say the name of his book?
Yeah, I'm saving that.
Oh, okay. Well, you've got 4 minutes.
Well, why don't I use one of them to play this book then?
Okay.
See, very all done with hand signals here. No one ever knows what we're doing here. It's hand. I have special lights that go off that give me messages, all so that you think this is seamless. And it is. There's no seams.
Hey, you skunk hard motherfucker. Play that damn clip.
All right. Yeah, it's the only way to do it, brother. You are a master and a treasure to our drumming society, and
Yeah.
And you're no schlock either,
thank you, bro.
Everybody
And
should
we
buy
are,
that book.
get that book. What was the public? Oh, it was Go ahead.
It's called Life, Billy, and the Pursuit of Happiness.
I'm pausing this so we can really push that book.
Life, Billy, and the Pursuit of Happiness
Happiness
by Liberty Devito.
Right, and it's Hudson is the publisher, but I'm sure you can get it where fine books are sold. Anyway, here you go.
And it's Hudson, right?
Yeah, it's Hudson.
Hudson, yeah.
Awesome, bro. All right. Well, I'll connect with you, and to be continued.
Very cool.
All right, bro. So thank you so much for being here. Good
Good
to
night.
see you. Take
Bye,
care.
Liberty.
Bye.
Bye,
Amen.
Liberty.
Bye, Liberty. And it just makes me realize how what we do is really cool. It's not without its. There's nothing. If every day was sunny, you'd be living in the desert. So.
And you're in your spaceship now.
Yeah, I'm in my spaceship. I love it out here. Love it out here. It's great. The view is amazing. My friends come to visit me.
Okay, so everybody remember, tomorrow night is...
Yes, Free for All Friday the
13th.
13th. And I'm wondering, I said to Angus today, he says, what are we going to do for Friday the 13th? And I was like, what are we going to do for Friday? Do we do something for Friday the 13th, or do we hide? What are we going to, walk under ladders? Oh, what do you think about that? How about all the bad luck things?
No, I don't think so.
As my pasture?
Sue
No?
says there's no other show like this. You know
That's,
what?
everybody's happy
I
about
don't think
that.
there was another show like Wayne's World either.
Wow, did the
I
air
think that
conditioning
she
come
was-
on, or did it just get
She was
very cold in
taking-
here?
She was saying it as a compliment. No other show like this. That's right.
There is no
You're
other show like
creative.
who because in order to have a show like this,
You'd have to be like 15.
oh well, okay, all right.
No other show like this.
No other show like it.
That's right.
That's the truth. Write your congressman.
Well, Dale said
Complain
things
to the
were really
FCC. Nothing you can do about it. Not a thing. But big shout out to Liberty Devito. He's a fine guy. I'm happy to call him a friend.
Right.
He's a fantastic musician. If you get to see the Lords of 52nd
Yeah,
Street,
they're going to be out touring.
they're going to be out playing. The Slim Kings, he said, record more than anything else. But Lord's pretty serious band. If you can check
Yeah.
them out, do that. Don't forget his book, Life, Billy, and the Pursuit of Happiness. I believe Billy wrote the foreword in the book.
Yes, he did.
And,
Billy Joel.
Since we've had the whole frickin' band on the show, you might as well read about them. And if I don't see you in the future, I'll see you in the pasture.
Good night, everybody.